how did she come up with the idea? She's quite young, so it's very inspiring to hear how she came up with the idea, where she's at right now, and what are her goals for the future regarding the idea. So I don't want to spoil it, but what I do mostly with my guests is I let them introduce themselves, because I feel like I don't do justice. But it's very like laissez-faire. It's very filanga free. So it's not like it's not too intense, right? So we're just here to get to know you, get to know your idea, see how we can support your idea from different angles. So without further rambling, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Abigail. And thank you for the team for giving me these opportunities to campaign and create awareness about my program and my project. Yeah.
Very nice. So you can start us off with an introduction of who you are, where you come from, what you do. Feel free to throw in a fun fact, like just...
Yeah. I'm Cynthia Muthoni, born in LAMU County, doing my Bachelor of Education at Kenya Methodist University, almost finishing, one semester remaining. And I'm working on a project, about empowering young girls and teenage girls in LAMU County. Yeah.
Very nice. So what's the project called?
The project is called Wasichana Tushinde Program.
Period.
And
no, say that again. I don't think they heard you. What is it called?
Yeah, the program is called Wasichana Tushinde Program. Like, girl go win.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand?
Girl go win.
Yeah. Wasichana Tushinde Program. Yeah, it's advocating for young girls in LAMU County. They're facing a lot of issues. The poverty, the limited reproductive health care services, the lack of education, and also lack of support from the community. Yeah.
So how did you come up with Wasichana Tushinde Program? Like, obviously like in our society today, we're not short of problems, right?
Yeah.
There are problems that face men, there are problems that face women, there are problems that face children. So there's a myriad of problems. But how did you settle on this one?
First of all, because I come from LAMU County and I'm a lady, I'm a young girl. And I'm actually not coming from a good background. I come from a humble background. And what I've gone through, I wouldn't like to see other girls going through the same thing. Yeah. So what I've been going through, and I've seen other people going through, like my cousins and my friends in LAMU County, it's really hurting me so much. So wherever I am, even if I'm not in LAMU County, I'm somewhere else doing my education, I feel them. I still feel them, Yeah. And this thing came into my conscious that I should create a program to advocate for these girls. Because I was also there. I was once in that situation, And I want to empower these girls, Because they're going through the same thing. They need someone to rescue them from these problems. Yeah. They might be wanting good education like others, but they don't have that ability to get where they are, They cannot reach to their full potential. So the idea came up when I was in immediately after Form 4, after my high school. So after high school, I went back to my home, LAMU County, because I was schooling in Nairobi, Ngara Girls. That's where I was called by the government. And then when I went back to LAMU County, I taught for like 11 months in a day school, and it was a mixture of boys and girls. And sometimes I was also like, sometimes I could see like in a class, some girls are not coming to class. Like in a week, they will only come to class for like 2 days. And that was so disturbing me a lot. Yeah. And I came to realize that most girls are not coming to school because, some don't even have pads. How are you going to come to school when you don't have even pads to wear? Some of them, they're coming from a poor background, Yeah. You find them loitering around with boda guys, looking for something to eat, You feel me, right? So the idea came up from there. And also I've seen most people, my cousins, my friends from where I'm coming from, they don't get to finish their high school. When they get to like Form 2, they get pregnant. And I always see my dad pushing this thing for pregnancy, trying to stop it, but it's very hard. I was like, because I'm young, if I come back with this program or this project, maybe they will listen to me because we are the same age.
Yeah.
You know, they will able to get understanding from me because they view me as one of them. They will also get motivated to get where I am, you know. So I felt like I need to go back and talk to them, address these issues, you know, advocate for this program, which will at least empower them as girls and reach their full potential.
I really love that. That's quite noble. So you did say that it's also partly because of similar experiences that you went through, that you kind of like persevered or pushed through to be on the other side, right? So if you're comfortable, can you talk to us about what that experience or what those experiences were?
For example, when I used to study in primary school, that time my family was not in a good situation. As I told you, I came from a humble background. Sometimes you could go back. You know, it was a public school. I used to be in Leki Kenyatta. Sometimes you go back at home, there is no lunch. Imagine if there is no lunch and maybe you have started your periods. Will you even get the money to buy the pad? No, you can't even get that money to buy the pad. So most of my colleagues used to wear the mattress, you know. We used to cut the mattress and wear them so that they can act as the cotton, you know. Sometimes we used to wear like the handkerchiefs, we wear them under our panties, you know, because, you know, that time there's no money to buy what you want, the pads, you know.
What you need, actually.
Yeah. So it was very hectic. And then I used to have other cousins who were above me, and then they were like, they're not finishing school, they're getting pregnant, you know. I was like, why is this happening? And then I was questioning myself so much. I came to realize that also the community has to engage in educating a girl child. The community has to come in, you know. The support should come from the parent, from the community, and also the teachers. So you find that you're going through something, even there's no one to help you, you know. The little people who are there to help you, maybe it's your parent, and also they don't have that potential.
Resources either.
You
did say that later on, like your father took up the local, like he was part of the local government, right? And then you said he tried to do some things, but like it wasn't as successful as you would have wished it for the girls, right? So talk to me about how the situation, like what has been done already in addressing those kind of like really critical issues that are facing women or young women in LAMU. So what has been done? Let's start there. What has been done already? Like what's the...
Okay. When I was teaching there in a day school, I could see that the board, the parent board, they used to come and talk to the parents. Even the chiefs, they usually organize meetings to talk with these girls, you know. But I don't know what's wrong. They don't listen, or what's going on between these guys. I think it's all about something should be brought about behavior change, something to do with behavior change.
Behavioral changes.
Yeah, behavioral changes, you know, life skills, you know. You can want a child not to do this, but you have to at least educate this child. Like,
and the moment you say don't do this, we are all humans, that's the first thing we'd want to do, you know. But then if you've taught this person, you're like, okay, if you do this will happen. When this happens, this will happen, right? So to prevent us from getting to think, you know, let's you know, like consider this other path that you could potentially take. So I think it's a very nice thing that you're doing, Cynthia. And one thing that I'm always worried about is, you know, like people come up with programs or innovations that are not holistic, right? And I think we suffer this a lot from like international interventions, for example, right? Like let's say someone from, say, the US comes in and is like, oh, I heard there's poverty in Africa, so let me go and like solve it, right? So then when Akuja, they come to us and tell us what our problems are and tell us the solutions, right? So what I love so much about what you're doing is you're from LAMU. You've gone through these experiences. You empathize. It's not even like sympathizing. At this point, it's like you're empathizing with their experiences, right? So talk to me about like your plan now. What's your plan to alleviate this problem that's in LAMU?
Yeah, my plan is to work with this project that I've come up with, the idea that I've come up with, the Wasichana Tushinde program. And this project, it's advocating for the girl child mostly. And I'm planning to advocate for 450 girls within a period of 3 years with the help of funding, which equivalent to 12 million.
And this is 12 million in 3 years.
In 3 years, you know. Imagine in 1 year it is 4 million. And these girls are like 450.
Yeah.
And all of them, they are facing all these problems. Early pregnancy, you know, most of them are pregnant, you know. And for you to get that girl child who's already pregnant, and lift her to a point that she can get into the labor market or to have full potential, you know, you have to take her to vocational training, you know.
That's true.
At least she can get some skills like computer entrepreneurship, you know, so that she can at least get into the labor market or at a full potential, you see. And then the other thing is, I would like to engage the community to support girl child. You know, there's
Who is the community?
The community, the parents. One thing I would like to tell is that LAMU COUNTY, it's situated in the coastal region of Kenya, right?
That's true.
And it has a rich cultural norm and values. And most of the cultures over there, okay, they are good cultures, I can't lie about that. There are other good cultures I even admire about them. I like where I come from. But there are some cultures which are so outdated.
Yeah.
Most parents over there, the Swahili, they value early marriages to young girls. And this has been a problem. This shows ignorance and lack of support from the community, from the parents. So advocating for support by the community, it's calling for help for the parents, you know. The parents have to support this girl child to get somewhere. We have to create awareness to these parents that educating a girl child is also important as the same as educating a boy child. Because let me tell you, if you educate a girl child, this girl child will get a family. And definitely, if this girl is educated, it's going to support the family. And the children will also be educated too.
That's very true.
Exactly.
We have this thing. So where I work, right, we have, it's not even related to it, but there's something called mindset shift.
Yeah.
Right? So in places where you've had such deep cultural norms, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to come up with a novel idea, like a new idea.
Yeah.
There's something that needs to be done about people's mindset, right?
Yeah.
So it's really important, and that's why I'm asking who is part of the community. And I'm sure the community is not just the parents, right?
Yeah.
It's the mosques, it's the churches, it's the schools, right?
Yeah.
So like, how are you mobilizing all these different parts to create that mindset shift? Because if you don't have the buy-in from the community, then it'll be harder to achieve what you want, right?
Yeah.
But then let's say the parents are on your side, the schools are on your side,
the mosque, the church,
the churches are on your side, even the local government is on your side. Then you see how you're able to achieve that. Yeah, the mindset, right? Yeah. So it's a matter of, we talk about like, okay, which actors, now I'm going into political science, right? So which actors that normally will not be engaged in this kind of things? Because when people think about women, it's just like women's problems, they're like, see, I'll just talk to the mamas, you know?
Yeah.
They're the ones who are closer to the girls anyways, you know? I will completely isolate the dads and the sons, and, you know, like I don't even need to talk to schools.
Yeah.
So it's opening your mind and seeing who else needs to be part of this conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Because believe you me, like you will be surprised. You'll be surprised. So there's this person, I don't know her personally, but she works in West Africa, I think Ghana. And she started out this program where she would like educate young girls about computer skills.
Yeah.
And then she comes from a place that also has like those deep cultural norms. Yeah. It's predominantly like Muslim.
Muslim.
And then so now she was facing like similar, so as you're saying, she was facing like similar challenges, whereby the community is like, but we don't see the value in educating women. What do you mean? You know, why do they need to go and, you know, at
the computer skills?
Yeah. Go cook, you know, like I'm hungry, things like that. So she was facing those kind of thing, and for her, that's why I'm saying like it was really important for her to open her mind and see, okay, actually, instead of looking at like the men or those members of the community who are at quote unquote against me, we can be allies. Like I just need to get them to switch their minds.
Yes.
So all this to say is how are you planning to now collaborate with all these other people? We've talked about the parents, which is a really, really core group. Who else do you need in your project?
The school. The school is very important. First, we have to create these programs to advocate for awareness, life skills programs in schools. So I'm planning on creating groups, monitoring groups and focused groups that will be going from groups to group, from school to school. Those will be peer counseling groups. People who have studied psychology, counseling, so that they can talk to those girls, about healthcare, about the importance of education, how to reach your full potential, and also the church and the mosque, where we get our beliefs and behavior. We learn from the churches and the mosque. Our beliefs are very important in our life. They shape our lifestyles.
That's true.
So if I will be able to get to reach out the church and the mosque, it will be very easy for me to advocate for these girls, talking to them, sending people over there, because these girls, they're both Christians and Muslims.
So in terms, I think you had already started talking about it. Excuse me. So you said that you'd need counselors. You'd need obviously like the
psychologists,
but then psychologists as well. So what's your what are the details of your plan, if you can share? Right. So there's a part where you're engaging with like the young girls directly through counseling and stuff like that. Like what else do you have planned? Because as we've seen, like this is a big problem, right? So it's not just like like education. There's an element of even like hygiene and like self-love and all that kind of stuff. There's an element of counseling. There's different components. So maybe you can talk to me about like the concrete plans, like the output, or the input, I guess, would it be? In any case, so like one of them is counseling. What other things do you plan to do?
There's advocating for counseling and also teaching on health reproductive services. So health reproductive management. For example, in a church, even if you're told that we should fill the earth,
go forth and prosper.
I will,
procreate.
I will create awareness about use of family planning. At least these girls should be much more educated about how to sustain themselves, the health reproductive education.
I think that's actually quite fundamental, because where I come from, the Bundus in Western, also the Shags Western, Karibu na Uganda. So it's not the same, but similar problems where like we don't really. There's not, and I think this is like a national calamity actually, that we don't have like comprehensive reproductive education system or whatever, right? So in terms of now we're adding to the people that you need to bring into your circle, right? Who are you seeking out the help from for that particular like need, like to teach them about reproductive health?
Right now, I have my colleagues who are doing nursing, and they're very young. They're young, just like me. And we will be working together so that they can advocate for health reproductive education, teaching them, and also advocating this is also in churches and mosques, because you see, most of the time you find it hard to advocate in religions. They feel like you are going against the understanding.
But the truth of the matter is people are having sex. We have evidence that people are having sex,
almost every day. That's the problem.
So, and I think like once people get to see that, okay, there's actually, I think there's like not even an ignorance. It's just like willful ignorance. Like you just choose not to see, right?
It's wrong, but you choose not to
choose not
accept
to see, not accept it.
Yeah.
So I think like this will question a lot of people's beliefs and a lot of people's power. And that's something that I feel like you need to prepare for.
Yeah.
Because you're going against the current,
Yeah.
right? It's like you're questioning someone's power. And then like, but I am the pastor here. What do you mean you want to come and teach my mama how to put on a tampon? What do you mean, you know? Right? So those are the kind of things that that you should kind of expect, which gets me to the next question is, what challenges do you foresee?
First of all, lack of support from the community. First of all, like the church, sometimes the mosque. Some parents are so ignorant, you know. First of all, I will tell you that in LAMU County, there is a lot of like undevelopment, you know. There is marginalized tribes. If you go there are tribes like Sanye, you know. They're deep in the village. They don't have any information. And if you try to tell them about something, they don't want to accept it. So you have to show them that this thing, that what you're telling them will work.
Will work, actually.
Yeah. You have to show them evidence that it will work. And give them faith, give them hope that this thing will work.
It's actually a good cause, and we have a plan in place to make it work.
Sometimes like another challenge that I think I'll get is like engaging those girls. You know, getting those girls from their house so that you can bring them together, so that you can educate them. It will also be a challenge, you know. Some are coming from village inside, you know. There's Kipini area, there's Witu, Maisha. Those places are so far from town, you see?
Never even heard, only knows Islam.
Yeah. Faza, those places are so deep. Like getting those girls from that place, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
And
like,
how do you
hard.
plan to go about like solving for that challenge?
I'll have to involve the government, you see? Maybe the chiefs, you know? The local government that is around those girls to get them, you know. If you get a chief from a certain location, let's say it's Hongo location or a Bomani location, you can work with that chief to get the girls from that location. You go to the next location, you find those girls using you can work together with the locals. You have to work together with the locals.
You can't
the
work
chiefs,
alone.
Yeah, you can't work alone.
Yeah.
The village men. Yeah.
Any other challenges that you foresee?
The funding.
The funding.
The project is so big and it needs financial support. There's some things you cannot do without financial support.
That's true.
For example, if these guys, 450 guys, if they need pads, where will you get this money for buying the pads? If they need healthcare services, you know, they need the family planning process or the family planning teaching. They need to go through that. A lot of things, like the fund is much more important.
It's much more important.
Yeah, because you know you are starting this project solemnly, alone, individually, and it's not that you want to benefit yourself. You want to benefit the society. You are into societal interests, and you want to achieve the
desired outcome of where women are not, you know, they're empowered.
Exactly. They're empowered and they reach their full potential.
Yeah.
So now funding, it will be very like challenging. Yeah.
So if you can look into that camera, I'm kidding. Like talk to a funder. Let's say there's a funder out there. Like pitch your idea to them.
First of all, I would like to talk to LAMU County government. There is a national government and there is the county government. And under county government, there is youth. There's a sector for the youth. I would like to work with them first of all, so that to support my project. Because the young girls are part of the youth, you know? And I would also like to work with the NGOs, the UNICEF. Yeah, the United Nations, so that it can get into LAMU County. But the problem is, how am I going to get into the UNICEF? How am I going to work with the NGOs? Because how will I create awareness about this project, you know? You can have an idea, you can have a project, but you don't have the potential people to help you, you know? You need like someone to get you there, you know?
Yeah.
You need someone to connector.
Destiny connector. Yes.
That's what they say, right?
Yes.
Destiny connector.
Yeah, so funders out there, you've heard the call. It's a really...
And also, apart from the NGOs, the UNICEF, the county government, also individually, there are people who are willing to help people out here.
That's true.
There are people who are willing to help the young people. There are people who are willing to help people get somewhere. You know. So if anyone feels like he or she can support my project, it's okay. I'm good to work with him or her.
How can we find you?
You can find me. I'll leave my number and I also leave my email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's a very noble project that you're doing. Because let me tell you, where we come from, we are not short of problems, right? And you are actually doing something about, your people, and it's very heartfelt.
Actually,
it's coming from.
Actually, it's because I tried my best to get into university, because I always feel bad to see most of the girls at my age, they have 3 kids, 2 kids, and they're suffering, living in mud houses, They don't have even food. You want to go back and help, but you cannot help them fully. What will I do so that I can help them? So I had to come up with an idea so that I can help them. I tried my best to get out of LAMU County and come to Nairobi to study. Not because I didn't want to stay in LAMU County, but I wanted to explore, and feel my potential, so that when I come back to LAMU County, I can bring those girls to where I am. I can advocate for them now, Exactly.
Yeah, you have a leverage point of being you know what, I actually left you guys. I went to Nairobi and it's good out there.
Yeah.
There's another life outside.
You remember when you used to be taught history about Jomo Kenyatta? The way Jomo Kenyatta left he went to US to study.
To the US,
yeah. And he used to attend the conferences and come back to Kenya, He was not just going there to enjoy life. No.
Now he's the father of our nation.
Exactly, you see?
You're going to be the mother of LAMU.
I'll be the mother of LAMU, the girl from LAMU County.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's very noble. Yeah. So in terms of the future, let's say all things have kind of gone according to plan. How is it going to be different? How is LAMU going to be different? How are the lives of these young girls going to be different?
If I get to a point that I've advocated for the 450 girls, there will be a very big change, especially in the labor market, and the poverty level, the cycle of poverty will reduce, because poverty is the problem over there. There's a high rate of poverty. Yeah. I'll try my best to reduce the poverty cycle in LAMU County. But I know by empowering a girl child is empowering the whole nation. Empowering a girl child in LAMU County is empowering LAMU County. Yeah.
And before y'all come after us, we're not saying do not empower men. That's exactly not what we're saying. We're just saying, okay, we are looking at a population or a segment of society that has been so left out, so ignored, that now we're okay, it doesn't make sense because we all live in an economy and we all need to participate.
Yeah.
That's the 1+1, So it's about empowering everyone, but who has been left behind is the girl child in this case. Yeah. So I like to think of sustainability, right, of your project. So you said you'd start in LAMU, right, with 450 girls.
Yeah.
Have you thought about how you would sustain and increase your impact, right? So when someone is thinking about impact, there's something called, there's direct and indirect impact. Yeah. Direct impact is, for example, let's say I've met someone, he is hungry, I've given him food. Yeah. That's direct impact. Indirect impact could be, I have met someone, he's hungry, I've looked at the source of his hunger, he didn't go to school, I have gone ahead back to his village, empowered people, they're going to school. Now, indirectly, I've caused an impact, you know? And in most organizations or in most innovations, it normally starts with direct impact, right? Yeah. So talk to me about how you're planning to move from solving the immediate problem, right? To now tackling let's say the systemic issues of like poverty. You know, like how are you connecting those dots together? I don't know if my question makes sense. I have rambled.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
First, I have to bring a direct impact to these children, like these young girls. Then bring the indirect impact. First of all, this project it's advocate for 3 years, so it's a direct impact. It's a continuous process. You know, for example, if it's a vocational training teaching about computer skills, this girl has to go for like 3 months to get the skill. From there, you have to introduce this girl to the labor market. From there on, when you solve a problem for one girl, you'll be able to solve the problem for another girl. So for the first direct impact is first create a conducive environment for these girls, because definitely it will be very hard for them to agree to go back to school when they are facing problems around them. First of them, I have to make a conducive environment for them. Try to change their mindset first of all, psychologically change their mindset about how they have been viewing things. They have been going through problems. You have to show them that they can make it. You know, first of all, also show them that they are still supported by people. There are people who are still here for them. You know, Sure, first you have to show them the love and affection. Try to open their mindset. Psychologically change their mindset, and then now bring them to the project now, so that you can bring the indirect impact. I think when these girls, when they get the programs, you know, first the entrepreneurship, support them in starting the small business, you know, weaving, you know, some of them have skills, being saloonists, they have skills. If I get them to school, I think
Over for you.
it's finished.
No, that's so amazing, because I think I like that you're thinking about like long term, right? So it's not just that like, okay, after 3 years,
you know, offering
it's gonna be done.
Offering pads for them, it will only solve for 2 to 3 months. But after offering pads to them, what else can you offer to them? What else can you offer to sustain their growth? You know, you have to offer something like education. You know, support them to open small businesses, entrepreneurs. You know, some of them have business ideas over there. They have seen gaps. They have been there for a long time in LAMU County. They have seen gaps that need to be filled in LAMU County. And they're the one who can fill them, because they're the one who are facing the problems.
And they see that they're creating the solutions to the problems that they're seeing and facing. I asked that because also someone said, you can't teach me how to farm when I'm hungry. Right? Like, I'm not gonna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hungry, fam. So it's the same idea that like it's really important that we look at it first from the direct impact, and then we think about how we're gonna make it more indirect, and how we're gonna spread it, you know, past the 450 girls and all that kind of stuff. So that's very noble. I want to give you time if we haven't shared anything else that you would want.
I would like to talk about the cultural norms.
Okay.
If I would like to engage the community, if at least you will reduce the thinking about the cultures, the Swahili cultures. Actually, you know, there's this Swahili in our villages over there. They don't like to value about education. I would like them to think much more about educating their children. I would like them to know that educating your child is one of the best investments, other than buying lands, doing businesses. Educating your children is the best investment. You heard that. Exactly. That's what I want them to know. And also, I would like them to know that the marginalized tribes, we are still out here. We are still looking unto you, and you are coming for you. Like, you know, we will be there for you, because these marginalized groups. When I was teaching in that day school, some children used to come from long distance places, and they don't have bicycles. They walk. You have to wake up at 4 to get to school by 6.
Wow.
You even feel pity for this kid, you know? You feel bad.
That's like from one end of the island to the next. It feels like it.
And also, I would also like to urge on the government, the elected leaders over there. They have to work towards helping these young girls,
Yeah.
There's no need. I mean, I always feel bad. Like, there's no need of you being elected and you're not doing your work. I mean,
You're here to represent us and our problem.
Exactly. Your work was to present us, like bring the common good to the community.
Yeah.
Not for individual interests.
Yeah.
I would wish like a person like a women rep should be advocating for young girls. If I will see my women rep working towards helping young girls, I would be very happy about her.
Do you know Millie? Like, you're giving bad girl Millie vibes.
Millie Adhiambo.
Yes, so she's our role model.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would like to tell the community that at least next time when you're choosing some people, like you have to choose people who are ready to help you guys, Yeah. Women rep are supposed to present the women in that county, They're supposed to advocate for, if, let's say right now, if the women rep will be brought to the table and asked about which effort have you made to advocate for the young girls, and what effort, what are you trying to do to stop these early pregnancies and early marriages? What are you trying to do to advocate for behavioral change for these young girls?
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't know, thinking about individual interest. I'm not saying that our women rep is thinking about individual interest, but I would like to advocate that our leaders should pull up their socks at least.
Literally. Yeah.
Pull up their socks.
It's as I said, and I've been saying, it's a very innovative, it's new thinking.
Yeah.
It's something that will benefit everyone.
Yeah.
So as such, it's gonna take everyone to be part of it. Everyone has a part to play in this initiative, right?
Yeah.
We no longer, and I think we run a risk of, like when we're talking with people who have such deep beliefs and they have held them for long, and they say babu zetu, this is how we've been doing things.
Yeah.
It's 2024.
Yeah. And things are going to change.
And things have to change whether you're part of it or not. So either way, might as well just come on board, we can no longer afford to lag behind because of, our rigidness to change our beliefs and our mindsets and our thinking.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really, really good call. Mine would be to just urge, if you're a funder, you are a funder, and anyone can be a funder.
Yeah, anyone.
I think we rely so much on the big organizations, but please do not feel left out if you're someone just with a good heart who wants to help, someone who is doing something great for their community.
Yeah.
If you have other ways, how I say, like, I know someone, someone, they know someone, right? Yeah. You can, even if your help is not directly to me, you can connect me to someone else who might be of help. Those connections are also welcome. As she said, she'll leave her number and her email and bombard her with love. I think it's a love project, and I admire it so much. I admire your futuristic thinking. I admire that you want to change your community.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us we live with ideas here and we don't let them out.
Implement them.
We don't implement them because tonight, we leave the reality of the world to persuade us or move us from our goal. But it's just very admirable, I think is the word.
Yeah.
That with what you're doing. So I think we'll end it here. But then again, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. You're doing the Lord's work, literally. And yeah, feel free to leave your number, as you said, and you can use me as a resource as well. And I feel like I want to say this here. If you need to come back here and then give us an update of, how it's going, what else, we can do together, because this is a collective effort. I think we should be able to create that space for you as well. But I have been your host, Miss Ajuma, and this is Red Table Podcast. Thank you, guys.
And also, I would like to invite you to LAMU COUNTY.
Yes.
The coastal, the beach.
Yes. I'll come.